Hi everyone, my name is Vani and I have my colleague Deepika with me. Our topic today is about striking the right balance between innovation and security of AI, particularly generative AI. So, AI has the potential to bring many benefits to society. However, for the opportunities of AI to be fully realized, it must be developed, deployed, and operated in a secure and responsible way. So, drawing inspiration from holy books like Bhagavad Gita, we believe securing AI involves embodying principles like dharma, bhakti, and vairagya. Dharma is our righteous duty, our duty to build secure and robust AI systems, systems that can withstand attacks, systems that are free from vulnerabilities. Bhakti emphasizes devotion, devotion to data security and privacy, crucial for preventing data breaches and misuse of sensitive data. Lastly, Vairagya, which means detachment. So, detachment from biases, hallucinations, and fake outputs. So, this is achieved through governance and compliance. So, today we will explore generative AI security and governance concepts aligned with these principles. So let's start with an overview of generative AI. You might have heard of all of these terms: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and of course, Gen AI. So, AI, in the simplest of terms, is any technique that enables computers to mimic human intelligence. ML is a subset of AI that uses complex statistical techniques to enable computers to learn from data. You can think of ML as learning from a textbook where clear instructions and examples guide the understanding. Deep learning, in contrast, can be thought of as learning from an experience. So, natural language processing and object recognition are some examples of deep learning. And Gen AI is a type of deep learning, where new content is generated based on existing content that the model has been trained on. So, all of you must have used ChatGPT or other Gen AI tools. What do you routinely use them for? Do you use them for creative writing, content creation, research and analysis, or maybe just fashion advice? So, if ChatGPT gets the answer wrong occasionally, there is no major harm done, right? Unless you are trying to produce jokes for your talk and those jokes are so bad that no one in the audience laughs at them. That will be embarrassing. But on a serious note, imagine a scenario where a self driving car sees a stop sign but misinterprets it as a speed limit sign. So instead of stopping at an intersection, the car just continues forward and collides with an oncoming vehicle. That could result in a tragedy. And this is not a hypothetical situation, it's a real risk. So, real life use of AI can have catastrophic consequences if AI misbehaves. So, this is all to say that security of AI is a serious concern. Now, according to a recent study done by IBM's research arm, the Institute of Business Value, 64% of the executives who were surveyed feel pressure to adopt Gen AI, but 84% of them have concerns about security. And as we just discussed, they are right to be concerned. So, the obvious question is, how do we balance innovation with security? The short answer is that our cybersecurity and AI missions must support each other. So, cybersecurity concepts need to be applied to the various aspects of generative AI. Protecting Gen AI systems requires us to look at three crucial aspects, which are mentioned here on the left. Securing AI involves securing the underlying training data, securing model development, and securing the usage of AI models. On the other hand, when the pace of innovation is high, security can often take a backseat. Fortunately, AI itself can come to the rescue here. So, AI can help us fortify cybersecurity. It can help us analyze data to detect threats early, automate incident responses for faster, more effective mitigation, and ease the workload on human operators. So, this is AI for security, which is shown on the right hand side here. Moving on, so we have all come across such headlines in the news, right? And as working professionals, we don't want our companies to end up on primetime news like this. And as a society, we don't want our social fabric to break down in the face of unethical AI. So the onus is on all of us to champion responsible and ethical AI. Okay, so the security is important. We got that. But how do we secure Gen AI, right? The first step towards that is to understand the security threat landscape so that we can design robust defenses tailored to Gen AI's unique characteristics. For that, we need to understand the different stages of an AI pipeline and the attack vectors in each stage. Now, if we can secure the AI pipeline, we can build secure and trustworthy AI. The AI pipeline refers to the end to end process of developing, deploying, and maintaining AI systems. So, it has three core stages: data collection and handling, model development and training, and finally, model inference and live use. In addition, the infrastructure on which the AI systems are built and run needs to be secured. This infrastructure typically runs in the cloud, and the usual cloud security principles apply here. Lastly, AI governance. So, AI governance acts as the guardrails, it ensures and enforces responsible AI. Next, let's dive into some of the attack vectors and best practices across the three stages that we talked about here. So the first stage of the AI pipeline is data collection and handling. A company's data is its crown jewels, the asset that it derives the most value from. For the same reason, it is also a gold mine for attackers. Right? Strong data security is key, regardless of whether it involves AI or not. However, Gen AI's hunger for massive, diverse data amplifies the risk. So, the amount of data that Gen AI needs to learn complex relationships and generate new content far outweighs any other type of data usage historically. So, data discovery and classification is the first step. If you don't know what data you have and where it is, how can you protect it? Now, imagine having a huge, messy room filled with unlabeled boxes. You don't know which box contains what is valuable, what is useless. Right? And AI can be leveraged to protect data. So it can act as a smart secretary who can organize the data with labels like confidential, personal, or health data. Then the appropriate security policies can be enforced on different data sets based on their criticality. So this is one example of securing the data. Moving to the next stage, which is model development and training. So, for companies that don't have the resources or expertise to build their own models, they often download pre trained models from public repos like Hugging Face and use them. While this reduces development effort, lacks security in such public repos often creates a backdoor for attackers. So, anyone using these models can become a potential supply chain attack target. How do we protect against these risks? So you may be familiar with DevSecOps. Now, DevSecOps applied to AI model development is MLSecOps. So this includes best practices for secure model development and training. For example, vulnerability and malware scanning and discovery and hardening of third-party dependencies used in the AI systems. Again, AI can be used to protect the model. So, AI can aid in blocking supply chain attacks through ongoing monitoring, anomaly detection, and automated threat response. The final stage of the AI pipeline is inferencing and live use. So, the primary attack techniques here include prompt injection, denial of service, and model theft. Solutions like AI firewalls can be implemented to monitor and filter incoming data and prompts before they reach the AI system. Another class of solutions is machine learning detection and response, or MLDR for short. So they can monitor the behavior of AI systems for any malicious activity. So, for example, they can detect and block prompts that can cause sensitive data leakage in the output. Another best practice here is adversarial training, which involves deliberately exposing the model to malicious input so that the model learns to recognize such input. So, here also, AI can be used to protect AI. As an example, AI can be used to generate adversarial examples that are used during the training. So we have covered the three stages of the pipeline, and we have seen the some examples of the types of attacks that can occur in these stages. Now let's see a real life example of one such attack. So imagine you are using a GenAI based image generator, something like DALI or Midjourney. You give it a prompt saying, "Give me an image of a red balloon against a blue sky." And it generates this image for you, an egg. You're left wondering what happened. So, this is a result of data poisoning. So, in this, attackers tamper with the data used to train an AI model. Models that are trained on open source or public data are easier to poison for obvious reasons. So, applying data security principles to the training data is the key to countering this attack. Now, what happened in our example here? Many image generators are trained by scraping online images, and these images can be under copyright. So, artists are fighting back against the theft and misuse of their work using data poisoning. So, data poisoning works by subtly altering the images so that they don't look any different to humans but confuse the computer vision. So, then an AI model trained on such poison data can then start returning unpredictable and unintended results like we saw here. So that's all about the threat landscape of Gen AI. Now I will hand over the stage to Deepika to cover the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Vani. Hello everyone. I'll cover the topic of data security, privacy, followed by AI governance and compliance aspect to it. Okay, so this slide very much looks self explanatory. Most of the companies, even today, struggle with fundamental data challenges. That is, data stored in multiple locations, could be in applications or different clouds, leaving over 82% of the organizations actually inhibited by the data silos. So, not only that, to add to even more complexity to these problems, because of the use of data has become more varied with actually pure quality, complex forms. So, these things are going to get more worse. According to IDC, which is International Data Corporation, the stored data is expected to grow 250% just in a few years. So these growing volumes of data across silos not only pose challenges to the data governance and compliance, but also drives up the cost associated with storing, managing data for analytics and AI. So, coming to the data management lifecycle for GenAI, you might have all heard about zero trust data security and how crucial it is for strengthening our AI initiatives. So, when it comes to building trust and security, enforcing strict data policies and controls, we create a resilient defense against risks like bias and errors. So, what you see here are the five stages, though they significantly overlap. With the help of machine learning, the first stage would be to uncover hidden data scattered across many different platforms, and classifying and monitoring every sensitive piece of information meticulously. So, once identified, our data undergoes rigorous protection measures as part of the second phase, including real time monitoring, encryption encryption, preventing a lot of unauthorized access attempts. So think of it like our traffic surveillance systems today. So these are powered now on top with machine learning. So they'll kind of act as vigilant sentinels. So what it means is they detect anomalies, detect threats before they actually become very serious. This kind of proactive approach ensures we are always ahead, ready to tackle any risks and analyze them and respond on time. Right? So these, when it is in the further stages fueled by advanced analytics, they'll help us identify the threats rapidly, take actions, or strengthen our actual resilience that we have today to go against the cyber threats. So that is what this model shows. With zero trust data security, they will lead the way to fortify whatever AI infrastructure that we have. That is the way we can protect our digital assets from malicious attacks, ensuring the smooth operations around that. Okay, so what you see in this, next we will talk about governance and compliance, how the aspects around it, and let's move on. Okay, so what you see here in this comic strip, so basically it is from Scott Adams, as you know, the creator of Dilbert. The humor lies on a few things. There are some ethical limitations. In the interest of time, I'll just give a couple of seconds for you to see this. So the ethical limitations of AI assistants, wherein ChatGPT or be it any other large language model, it highlights about AI ethics, wherein it won't help with the murder, which is too unethical, but you can, just like spinning the yarn, but you have any other tips, write a story. So that's the irony. So super smart, but no crime advice, and that's where you see. So seriously detached, right? So let's move on. So not only that, there are some more ethical challenges that are posed by AI. They could include that, one of the real life example which Vani gave, right? Basically, AI can not only pick up, but also it can amplify social biases, which will lead to unfair outcomes. So, for example, let's say we are using the conference information here, and where everybody is women, let's say, okay, then if we pose hiring decisions based on this data, there is a high possibility that biased AI decisions can come out of it, right? So basically, new AI models can create biased using training data. It can amplify and even make it worse, or it can give fake information, fail to credit whatever the original sources were, hallucinate, make things up, give wrong information, does not say where it goes into. So these kind of harmful content or hate speech, bullying, all because it not only thinks like human, or in some cases it will not think like human. It can make mistakes, even leak the private data. So the bad actors can trick AI into harmful actions, and this will unintentionally spread false information. Okay, so we saw the challenges. Let's go on to the next slide. Um, are you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So AI regulations are being introduced worldwide, right? So for example, New York City now requires companies to check their AI hiring tools for biases. EU has new rules for AI that demand more transparency and privacy, right? So with big fines breaking them. So, and also in US, the government has set new guidelines for public servants using AI. So the White House is looking into AI risk. So these are some of the steps and regulations to make sure AI is used very fairly and responsibly. So expect more regulations in the future. So basically, they all the fundamental 5 to 6 principles that it will work on, which would be fairness, ensuring AI threats and treats actually everybody fairly, just like a referee in a game, and also respects and protects personal information. Not like a noisy neighbor who is not respecting our privacy. and also understand AI decision making process. It's just like you are asking a friend to explain why they took certain actions. So accountability talks about how somebody can hold responsible and accountable for AI errors. It's more like having a teacher keeping students in line, and then prevent accidents and harm with AI, just like how Vani gave an example of rules of the car keeping roads safe, right? So build trust in AI handling and data decisions, just like how we will trust doctors with our health. Okay, let's move on. So, when it comes to building responsible AI, the value lies in three areas, which is lifecycle governance, risk management, and standards and regulations. So, lifecycle governance oversees the AI from start to finish, just like a parent guiding a child throughout the journey. Even though they can think on their own, act on their own. Risk management, which we all know, it kind of prevents the problems early, just like a guardian ensuring safety across this life cycle. Standards and regulations, we have to follow these rules and it has to be easy to follow. It's just like playing a game but by its rules. Okay, so I'll keep it at that. Lastly, we are diving into a wild world of AI governance. So, where policies, responsible practices, risk management, all of them come together to ensure our AI initiatives are successful rather than we stumble upon them, right? So, we need to explore how we are turning the challenges that we have today into opportunities for innovation and trust. So, this slide highlights some of the problems. These are the flags that one should pay attention to. On the left hand side, you see the problem. In that case, the problem is in a case where problem is a lack of transparency in AI systems, they can lead to number of issues such as bias, discrimination, and all of that. So, on the right hand side, you see a proposed solution. So, we'll share the slides with you so you can go through various problem statements and what is the opportunity that we could use to develop from it, and that way we can educate our stakeholders about AI and how it works. Thank you. Let's summarize now. So, for closing, so this is what we hope you to take away from our talk, right? So, the top three things, if I have to summarize, for any organization to leverage Gen AI in a secure and responsible manner, it's very important for them to understand the threat landscape which Vani covered, associated risk for Gen AI use cases. So it is definitely imperative that we have to secure the end-to-end AI pipeline, just like how you have DevSecOps, MLSecOps. An AI governance program should be established with well-defined policies and procedures which will mitigate the risks of Gen AI, such as hallucinations, biases. And then the third thing is the regulatory landscape of AI is actually ever changing. So we have to staying updated is important, which means use AI to secure AI. Thank you so much for your time. Any questions? We are ready to take now. Thank you. That's all I have.